Okay, guys, this lesson is on multiple transformations. The first thing you're going to do is take the pink paper that I gave you today and fold it in to meet in the middle. Try to make both sides as even as you can and crease. Then you're going to lay one of the two graph papers that are pre-cut that I've given to you. You're going to lay it in the middle, okay, of the inside of the foldable. You can go ahead and glue this down so that it'll stay in place. All right, we're going to make a coordinate plane out of this graph paper. So what I want you to do is count over. It's not going to be quite even. I want you to count over 9 blocks. We can count this as one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's do 10. If you have one of those lighter graph papers, you can count over 9. Draw a line straight down. This is our y-axis. And then we're going to count from top to bottom 15 blocks. And that's going to be our x-axis. I know it's not quite even, but it's okay. It's close. And actually what you're going to do is extend these lines because we're going to end up cutting. You can draw right on the pink. We're going to end up cutting. If you don't have scissors, don't worry about it now. If you do, you can go ahead and cut on that black line. Okay. Now close, and we're going to label our quadrants. You'll think back now to 5th or 6th grade when you first learned about these quadrants. This is quadrant 1. Remember, we use Roman numerals to name the quadrants. Then we're going counterclockwise. Quadrant 2. Quadrant 3. And quadrant 4. 4 is the Roman numeral I and then V. Okay? All right, so now let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to give you a figure. Let's call it, we're going to say, let's zoom in some, that the coordinates, we're going to go -3, 5. This is M. That's -3, 5. A is going to be at -2, 1. T is going to be at -6, 0. And H is going to be at -7, 3. H, -7, 3. Okay, this is our figure math, M-A-T-H. And what I'm going to ask you to do, the first thing that I want you to do is reflect. Go ahead and copy this down. Reflect figure, M-A-T-H, across the y-axis. All right, then what I'm going to ask that you do, once you've done that, then you're going to take those new points and you're going to then rotate figure M-A-T-H. Okay, so that's M prime, A prime, T prime, and H prime. 180 degrees clockwise. But you know now that clockwise and counterclockwise 180 is the same. Okay, 3 in the bottom left. Okay, then you're going to translate figure MATH. So that's M prime prime, A prime prime, second primes for all of those. 7 units down and 7 units, let's say 7 units right. And 1 unit down. Okay? And then the last thing that I want you to do is to then dilate figure. Now I got 3 primes on each of these. I want to dilate it with a scale factor of 2. Let's go ahead and begin. If it were me, the first thing that I would do is rewrite my coordinates, but I'm going to go ahead and skip that step. So M prime, A prime, just because I'm running out of time here, H prime. This might end up being 2 videos actually, so that we have enough time. For M, we're going to keep that Y the same. Okay, so keep 5, keep A, Y the same, keep the 0 the same, and then keep for H, we're going to keep that 3 the same. All right, and then we're just going to change the X to the opposite. So this M will be positive 3, this will be positive 2, positive 6, and positive 7. And then go ahead and graph those points. Graph. Okay, so now we're going to 3, 5. That's M prime. A is at 2, 1. And T prime is at 6, 0. And then H is at 7, 3. Okay. Now from those figures, or from that, I'm going to then rotate it 180 degrees clockwise. So again, if it were me, I'd rewrite what these are already at. Okay, I'm just rewriting from my M primes over here. Rewriting 3, 5, 2, 1, 6, 0, and 7, 3. And I'm rotating at 180, which means I'm changing the X to the opposite and the Y to the opposite. So this will be negative 3, negative 5, negative 2, negative 1, negative 6. There's no opposite of 0, so it stays 0. And negative 7, negative 3. So that's M double prime. Okay. And then you're going to go ahead and graph those. Okay, let's go ahead and graph those down here. It'll be in this quadrant. Negative 3, negative 5. Here's M. A is going to be at negative 2, negative 1. T, negative 6, 0, which is right here. That's on the same, that's fine. And then H is negative 7, negative 3. Okay. Now I'm going to then translate this figure 7 units down and 1 unit to the right. Go ahead and rewrite out what M, A, T, and H double prime were. We're just recopying. our last coordinates. And then 7 units right, which means I'm going to add 7 to all my x's. And then 1 unit down, which means I'm going to subtract 1 from all my y's. Okay, and let's rewrite those new coordinates. Lost a pen. There it is. So I'm at my third prime. Okay, so this will be 4, -6. The next one will be 5, -2. T is at 1, -1, and H is at 0, -4. All I did was added to the X and to the Y, and then graph them. I'm going to graph them. I'm going to pause it and then graph it because we're running out of time, so you can pause me and graph it. Okay, make sure you double check your graph. And then the last step, the last thing that we're going to do is dilate this with a scale factor of 2. Go ahead and recopy what the third primes are from the previous side, the previous tab. So we're at 4, -6, 5, -2, 1, -1, 0, -4. And when I have a scale factor of 2, I'm multiplying the x and the y by 2. Okay? So then I have 8, -12, 10, -4, 2, -2, and 0, -8. That's 4 primes now. Okay, I'm going to pause it and then graph them. Okay, double check to make sure that you've graphed this last one correctly. And these points are that final answer there. That's that final transformation. Okay, we've done all 4 different types of transformations now. What I want you to do with the other piece of graph paper that I've given you, you're going to create a coordinate plane just like this. Okay, you can count over as many and count up as many. Do the same, make it look just the same. But these are the rules that you're going to follow. Okay, this is the next thing that I want you to do. You're going to try on your own triangle ABC, reflect it across the x-axis, rotate it 90 degrees, then dial it with a scale factor of 1.5. Go ahead and I want to see all 3. I want to see the original figure. What does it look like reflected? What does it look like after rotated? What does it look like after dilated? And then rewrite those coordinates after you've done all 3 of those things. The code word for this lesson is Yankees. I don't think I've used that one yet. They're currently losing, but hopefully they're going to win tonight or today. We will finish that blue foldable. There's one more thing to do at the bottom of the blue transformations foldable. We will do that in class tomorrow. We're going to practice that in class.